What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. And it feels strange to be in this studio on a Sunday right now. Why?
I don't know. It hasn't happened in a while.
I think that's why it feels strange.
Yeah, it does not happen often. I feel like the Sundays, it's just harder. Like it's the weekend still.
Right. You're like,
you guys, you got to come all the way from Long Island. Yeah. Like it's tough. So
I do enjoy the drive though on Sundays from Long Island because there's not much traffic. It's kind of just like an easy ride in.
Yeah, that is true. It's easier than during the week.
Don't drive to Brooklyn.
Yeah, when you don't end up driving to the wrong address, which by the way, I drove to work the other day and drove to the wrong address, but just in the city. Like I don't know.
Thank
what
God
I'm doing
it wasn't
sometimes.
the one in Brooklyn, but
yeah, thank God.
This podcast sponsored by Dat Chat. As always,
really love Dat Chat. I have to say the people on Dat Chat and in our Chicks in the Office and Cutting Stems groups are so kind. They really are. People. I went on the other day and somebody had wrote, oh, like we should, show our girls support in the podcast reviews because they heard what I said. And then it's just so nice. And then everyone gathers and like, yeah, we should show our support. And I'm like, this is such a friendly environment. So you could join our groups on Dat Chat, Chicks in the Office, Cutting Stems. There's also the other podcasts here at Barstool have their own groups as well. And of course, you could use it for private messaging, no screenshotting, no screen recording. You can pick how long you want your post or your message to stay up. So Dat Chat is really fun, really cool. You can go to datchat.com/Barstool, find out more info, download it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a must for the next, it has been, but it's a must for the next 2 weeks of The Bachelorette. Also, we're at Fantasy Suites, finale. We're going to be talking up a storm in the Cutting Stems group.
It really is fun being able to talk to the people who listen to this show. It's really, because obviously, we go through our DMs a lot and Twitter and stuff like that. But for some reason, Dat Chat just seems super personal because
Dat Chat's the important people.
Yeah, it's the ones that are really focused.
Because it goes both ways. It's like we want to talk to people on Dat Chat, and these are the ones that care enough to make an account and talk to us also.
Right, exactly. They're listening to us so closely that they're downloading Dat Chat, which is what we love to see. And we're not kidding when we say we go on there, pop in. I popped on the other day and wrote some things. So go to datchat.com/Barstool, join our groups. We'd love to talk to you guys on there.
Yes, we would.
So how was your weekend, Francesca? Because we did a little flip-flop. On Friday, when we talked on the podcast, you said that I was going to be going out and you were going to be sitting home.
Yeah.
I stayed home. You went out.
Yeah. that is what happened. But it wasn't like I wasn't like out. I just went to a big, a nice group dinner, couples dinner Friday night. It was lovely. It's just, the martinis kind of start to catch up to you. And we were playing games, literally playing like board games at my friend's apartment. And yeah, that's how it went.
You introduced me to the Dirty Martini the other night.
That I did. Your first one ever.
My first one ever.
You love olives and you love vodka, so.
I do love both of those things. Vodka is my preferred choice of alcohol, and I love olives. Yeah. And we were out to dinner, and you get yours extra. You're like,
extra dirty.
I love when Fran orders
Filthy.
it. I literally get turned on when she orders a Dirty Martini. She's like, can you make that extra dirty? Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I had chills. Dirty. But I was like, I've never had... I guess because I'm used to just like, I need to grow up a little bit and get a nice cocktail order like you. I've been getting espresso martinis on the rocks.
I just started really drinking dirty martinis in the last year.
It's so grown up of you, and it's like I want to be like that. So I was like, oh, I want to try this, and oh my God, quite delicious. I'm going to be getting an extra dirty martini next time I go out.
And I also blue cheese olives. Yeah, I was gonna say I also love it because you do get you get a little bit of a snack with your drink as well, And I normally save my olives to the end, not all of them, but I would say I drink like 3/4 of the drink, have an olive, depending on how many they put on the little stick. Sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 2. 3/4 done, olive. And then you kind of have those like last couple sips, and then you end with the last olive, and it's just delightful.
That does sound delightful. Delightful. There was a time where Fran and I would go to Whole Foods, a couple blocks down from the office, and just get a thing of olives, pickles, and cheese to eat for lunch. It was quite literally the most Italian thing that we could do.
Yeah, a little antipasto.
For lunch. Like, we would do it more often than not.
I come home with that all the time. Like, when I stop at the grocery, I stop at that Whole Foods on my way home. And when I'm starting to, like, unload the bags, or Joe's helping me, and he's like, of course, there's always, like, 2 things of olives, 2 things of pickles that were not on the grocery list that I throw in there that are a must.
You have to have them. They're so good.
Whole Foods has these lemon garlic olives. They are just divine.
A big olive podcast.
They are just divine.
You guys thought we were a big soup podcast? We're a big olive podcast.
I love olives.
I swear to God.
All kinds.
Why are these still in my pocket?
I don't know.
Remember the socks from the other night?
Also, I would just like to say that your disgusting shoes are over here too, just sitting here in that bag.
Thank you.
And your slippers.
Thank you for bringing those for me. I couldn't.
Shoes?
My disgusting,
the
one with the red stuff on it.
Oh,
it's not gum. I cleaned it out.
Gum. It's something else.
I have no
idea.
We have no clue. Can't put my finger on it. Can't figure it out.
David didn't say anything.
It's no. Well,
she left a trail in the Airbnb.
Let's keep quiet on that. I don't know what those are, but thank you, Noah. Yeah, my luggage broke the other day. Yeah. Trying to fit all my stuff back from California, and Noah was oh so kind to bring back 2 pairs of my shoes. The slippers that I wore on the Wisdom Tree hike. We thought we can either throw them out or hang them up in here.
I kind of want.
So actually, I feel like we should just hang them above Noah's head.
Did you see that some girl actually left to just tag Trixie Office from the Wisdom Tree?
Yes, I saw that. If you go to the Wisdom Tree and you get to the top, tag us. It would mean a lot.
We just want to congratulate you.
Yeah, if I can't do it, somebody can out there.
You know what realization I had this weekend also, because it was SantaCon, and I actually laughed because Daniela, who works here, tweeted a quote from her boyfriend Jetski, who also works here. Yeah. And it was like, I remember when SantaCon was the most, like, so important in my life. I was like, damn, that's so true, because I would do it every year up until pandemic, and then lockdown. SantaCon wasn't happening, and now I've aged out. Like, I potentially could have had another year in there. But now it was like I woke up Saturday morning, opened the window, heard all the Santas down the street already, like, 11 a.m. They're all screaming. Like, damn. It's like I've officially reached the age where I'm complaining about SantaCon instead of participating in SantaCon. Like, went for a walk, you're dodging Santas left and right.
Too many Santas.
So many Santas. You're dodging Santas. It did make me laugh, though. I had the window open, and I was just listening to the chatter. And there's just a group of guys, and at the top of his lungs, the guy just goes, bing bong. I'm like, oh my God.
See,
Santa.
I've never participated in a single SantaCon.
Oh, see.
What does participate mean? Like, you have to wear a Santa?
You dress up as a Santa.
Like, just going out on SantaCon doesn't count.
No, I think that does count.
I went out on last night. Like, I went out on Saturday night. Count? No, because I wasn't dressed as a Santa. And it was after.
You're not doing like the bar crawl.
Yeah, and SantaCon's a daytime thing. Yeah, also.
Yeah.
I think I've never once you go into nighttime.
I don't think I have an interest. I'm not shitting on it. I just, I'm not dying to put on a Santa costume and get out there in the bars. It's too to me fun. like. And no, I know it's a lot of fun. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. I get anxiety thinking about it. Like, that's just a me thing. Like, I'm thinking about all these Santas running around me, and we're all in SantaCon. Everyone's fucked up. Like, there's nothing worse to me than a group of, like, really fucked up guys. Yeah. And I feel like that just happens on SantaCon. Like, just like,
gotta pick what the right bar.
Right.
Because you can go, like,
I feel like
if you go with all your friends and kind of, like, have a spot, then you're good to go. But if you go to, like, one of these massive bars that's on, like, the SantaCon bar crawl list, and it's the place that, like, everybody from out of town comes in New Jersey. They're all taking the train to come in to go to this one spot. Yeah, it can get a little rowdy. But if you have a good spot.
If you have, like, a table somewhere or something like that, I feel like it makes sense. Yep. But yeah, this weekend was SantaCon, and we are heading into.
I've aged out.
Yeah, well,
my time is come and gone.
You're drinking dirty martinis now.
I know.
You're growing
exactly.
up. And I just am not participating.
I'm staying up far too late, drinking dirty martinis and playing board games with my close personal friends.
That sounds so much fun, though. That's all I want to do. Like, that just sounds so nice.
Yeah. Joe and I have also been just playing a shit ton of Mario Party. Like, we come home and play, like, hours of Mario Party on the Switch. Yeah, not kart. Party.
I started picking cart back up last week.
Yeah. Mario Party's a lot of fun.
It is. My sister was weirdly talking to me about Mario Party the other day.
Yeah, it took me a while to jump on the train because it's just a long game. And you got to like play for at least an hour depending on how many turns you set for the game. Yeah. So it's like you kind of have to be locked in for a while.
But once you're locked in, you're locked in.
Exactly. Once you're locked in.
You're zoned in.
Now like every week I'm coming home and I'm like, can we play Mario Party?
That's so fun. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, that was it.
Now we're heading into one of our final weeks before break time, usually around this time. Barstool Sports, we get a week off around Christmas, New Year's Eve. So this is like our final week. We got the company Christmas party on Wednesday coming up. It's always a fun time of the year. And Rough and Rowdy was on Friday. Congrats to Jerry.
It was always Jersey Jerry.
It was always Jersey Jerry. That was, if you watch Rough and Rowdy, sometimes it just really gets you. Like, sometimes you'll be watching and just funny shit happens. Like, you think it's going to be the same. Sometimes I'm like, it's Rough and Rowdy. Every time something will surprise you.
Without fail. I, like, cried at the clip of Dave giving the teeth. It's just, it's like, I was like, why is this making me so... Park. Why is this making me so Park emotional?
I cried more than once during Rough and Rowdy, and that shouldn't be happening, but it is. I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about it. Whatever. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. New teeth. So he got his all he wanted was his teeth. I know. All he wanted was his teeth fixed. So I guess that's it.
Yeah. Well, I know.
We had such a crazy week last week that now it's like, well,
like I said,
back to normal.
We came back, and all of a sudden, it's like the end of the year, so there's just. It's just end of year stuff.
Yeah.
Holiday stuff.
Maintenance.
Yeah. Just a little cleanup. End of year cleanup.
My mom said
organization.
To me this weekend, she goes, so did you get anybody any Christmas gifts? And I was like, well, who am I getting Christmas gifts for? Like, usually, me and my sister and my brother always do something for my parents separately. But I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you should probably, get all the aunts and
aunts?
Me and my siblings don't. We like
aunts. No.
Yeah. Well, this is where the question's coming in. It's like my mom's like, you should get all your aunts something, and I'm like,
all your aunts?
Yeah.
I know. Well, if you do all your aunts, then you gotta do all your uncles.
I don't have. Here's the thing. I got a lot of aunts, not a lot of uncles, because
the uncles don't last long.
They don't. I got uncle issues. I've had uncles in and out of this damn family. I got a lot of ex-uncles.
Just a swinging door of uncles.
And just so many uncles, so many aunts' boyfriends.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing. My uncles will get offended, though. This is where it gets confusing. Now I'm giving everyone my family tree here. Well, my aunt got remarried, and my Uncle Sal is my uncle because they are married. Then my Aunt Debbie is with my Uncle John, but they're not married. So is he my uncle? They all get offended if I say no, but you know what I'm saying there. Yep. Then Aunt Lori, she got divorced. They're going to be I'm just letting everyone's information air right now. So I got an ex-uncle there.
Yeah.
And then at marriage, I got an ex-uncle as well. And then from Aunt Jean, I got an ex-uncle before she married Uncle Sal. So I got like 3 ex-uncles.
They don't get gifts.
They don't.
No, I think it's once you reach that level, when you, especially in a big family, that's way too hard. Like our cousins all do like a Secret Santa type situation. So like every cousin has another cousin. So like you're just getting one gift so that every cousin like can sit down and open one gift. And then godparents do something a little extra. I get sometimes, get gifts from my godparents.
I've been being extra nice to my Aunt Debbie lately because she's my godmother.
Yeah.
And of course, I love you, Aunt Debbie, a whole lot. But she texts me all the time, like all the time. And lately, I've been texting her a little extra.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Here, Aunt Deb.
Yes, that's nice. But I'm firmly on the like that would be extra nice. But I feel like immediate family is really. Because once you start dipping into the outside, and then you have to get all your. Do you have to get all? Yeah, and grandparents.
Well,
like, do you have to get all your
grandpas?
Do you have to get all your cousins' gifts then?
No,
like that's what I'm saying.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, like that's a lot.
That's a lot. We're talking about a lot of gifts here.
Yeah,
it's causing a little bit of stress in the brain. We'll figure it out.
I haven't actually done any shopping at all. That's pretty bad. So
yeah, time's a ticking, Francesca.
I know it is. It really is
a ticking. Really all right, let's get into the topics for today's show. We're going to be talking about Pete Davidson and Miley Cyrus on Jimmy Fallon. A lot happened on there. Kanye West and Drake finally reunited in their big concert. Big Peloton update from last week when we talked about it. And Tom Holland and Zendaya had a little discussion about Tom Holland's height. So let's get into it, starting off with Pete Davidson and Miley Cyrus. Monday, my favorite day to talk about student loans. Check my bank account, make sure everything's going well in there, make sure my loans are taken care of, and you should do that too. I know it's a scary Monday is the day to get this all out of the way. And right now, you can refinance your student loans at earnest.com/chicks for a $100 cash bonus. Obviously, terms and conditions apply. 2022 is coming up. You got to get your shit in check, okay? You want to make sure you're good for the new year, save money for the new year, make sure your loans are good for the new year. Obviously, it's a cliche thing, start of the new year, you want to get all these things. No, but you got to do it anyway. Just start the year off to a good start. And right now, you could do that with Earnest because Earnest is the #1 student loan refinancer in the country. All you got to do is go on to earnest.com. It takes 2 minutes, only 2 minutes, and you can check what your new rate would be. Right now, Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus if you refinance your student debt at earnest.com/chicks. It's not available in all states, and once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you revisit earnest.com/chicks to refinance your student loans. Visit earnest.com/chicks for more details. Not available in all states. Once again, terms and conditions apply. Earnest Operations, LLC, NMLS 1204917, California Financing Law License Number 6054788, 535 Mission Street, San Francisco, California 94105. Visit earnest.com/licenses for a full list of licenses. So Pete Davidson and Miley Cyrus were on Jimmy Fallon last week, and we got a ton out of this. Miley Cyrus serenaded Pete Davidson. They played a game of True Confessions together. They showed us their matching tattoos. Yeah. Miley Cyrus went back to Pete Davidson's Staten Island condo. So much has happened, and these two are hosting Miley Cyrus's New Year's Eve event together, and they are quite the dynamic duo.
Yeah, on paper, these two make a lot of sense.
Yep.
And I think they are friends and they have known each other for a while. But yeah, the tattoo story is funny. It's like they did a skit together, SNL, We Babies. It was the whole thing. And so Pete had his a tattoo guy show up to 30 Rock, and they got the We Babies tattoos. Miley still has hers, but she said she was watching TV and saw a commercial, Pete, and he was getting his tattoos lasered off. That's the thing he's been doing. And she realized that the We Babies, he got lasered off.
She goes, and it was in the same spot where We Babies were. I think part of the reason I think there was a third person who got it, feel like it might have been Cassie David. I don't know why. I saw some people saying that, which would make sense why
would make sense.
Pete's getting it removed or whatever. But I thought it was funny because Miley was like, I stopped smoking weed the next day.
Yeah.
At least with Pete Davidson, because that's just a hilarious story thinking about them just getting super high, getting a tattoo artist there, getting weed. Because in the moment, We Babies was probably the funniest thing they've ever heard. Yeah. And they thought, this would be a great tattoo. But those two together, like you said, on paper just makes sense. And now everyone's saying,
they got the same hair right now.
It's why is Pete Davidson, why isn't he with Miley Cyrus? I think 100% Miley wants it. She's into it.
Yeah.
Kind of as a joke, but kind of being serious. She's
they're also doing good promo for this special, right? They want people to watch that, and I'm much more incentivized to watch, knowing that there's a little chemistry there.
Right. I'm so into it. And
do they kiss at midnight?
Right. Know. Oh my God. Stop. Well, Kim Kardashian liked Miley Cyrus's post with Pete Davidson. I saw that because people were like, oh, she's giving a little subtle nod of approval.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the word I'm looking for. But I really like these two together. There's some sort of chaotic energy that they bring to the table that's a lot of fun. And so many interesting stories. Miley Cyrus brought Pete Davidson to his first gay bar, and she said, all the gay guys loved him. She posted on her Instagram, I have to find the caption. It was just something about famous women and gay guys loving Pete Davidson, which is just makes sense.
Yeah, she's saying it should have been me to him, which was very funny. Obviously about Kim.
She wrote, who loves Pete Davidson more than famous women? Gay men.
Yeah. It's between that and the it should have been me, and she threw that line, because of the paparazzi pictures of them, Kim and Pete laughing in the front seat. She's like, should have been me at the front seat of the Lamborghini. And he was laughing, but uncomfy laughing.
And she was also I would go to Staten Island and watch a movie. It It was all very funny. But then she did go to Staten Island.
Apparently, yeah. They,
like what?
Page 6 said that her SUV was seen going into the parking garage at his Staten Island condo. But like I said, they're friends, and they got a lot of planning to do. They got a whole New Year's Eve special.
If both of them stopped smoking weed, they are now smoking weed again. Like, if both of them stop doing shrooms, they're both doing shrooms again. Like,
right.
I feel like when those two get together, it's just like, let's smoke weed and do shrooms. You never know what could happen. Right. Like, their mind is racing. They got to come up with this big show. Who knows? But I think they're friends, obviously. I think people are jumping to conclusions. Oh, Miley Cyrus went to his condo. Like, yeah, they just talked about going to a gay bar together, getting tattoos together. Yeah. They're obviously friends.
They had a tattoo together.
Right. They have matching tattoos. Yeah. It's very
I guess
important.
When you're like... I guess when you have as many as Pete and Miley do, though, it's like it loses the significance a little bit.
Didn't he say he wants to get all his removed?
Not all of them, but...
I thought he said all of them.
I mean, he might be in the process of all of them, but he definitely does not have all of them off right now. That's for
Maybe it's just the visible ones for like acting.
I don't think he should remove all of them.
I don't think he's going to remove all of them.
Oh, thank you.
That's just a gut instinct.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. He looks good in them, obviously, but I just love these two together, and I'm going... Like, if I'm not out, I'm going to be watching their New Year's Eve event wherever I could see this.
I know. And they just make, they also, I know everyone's like, why wouldn't they be together? But just even on a friendship level, they just make sense to be, like, very good friends. I feel like that's a friendship duo you would love to be a part of.
I feel like they have a lot in common and also probably can help each other through a lot of things.
Yeah.
I feel like Miley can help Pete.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pete can necessarily help Miley, but I think Miley can help Pete.
Yeah, no, they make a lot of sense. And I don't know whose idea it was to pair them for this New Year's Eve special. Genius.
So genius.
Very genius.
Maybe it was Miley's doing. Maybe she was like, let's get Pete Davidson involved.
We got to get Pete on here. Yeah. That's how we're going to make sure everyone's glued in.
Only two people that would match the same or even more is Miley and Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Would they?
I feel like Pete Davidson's a little more risque like Miley. Harry just like music, fashion wise.
Yeah. I actually think I would actually think Pete more than Harry, to be honest.
Because of the more risque stuff.
They're just, and I mean this in the nicest way, like a little like dirtier.
Yeah.
You know?
They got edge to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
I like that a lot.
Harry has edge, but it's not like
dirty.
Yeah.
There's something about like a dirty edge that I really like.
I know.
That, and there's something about, I'm not going to say it. I'm actually going to hold it in.
Okay.
I'm going to hold it in.
Okay.
I'm going to hold it in.
All right. You do that. You do that. No, like I said at the beginning, on paper, it would make sense, but it's Kim Kardashian.
Right. Like Pete's,
let's never forget.
Yeah.
It's literally Kim Kardashian.
Right. Like I don't think Kim Kardashian's
Kim Kardashian.
She's not worried. She's not like, oh no, Pete's hanging out with Miley.
Yeah. Now Miley and Ariana are friends. Do you think that matters?
Are they friends or are they acquaintances?
I felt like friends, but maybe not.
I feel like in that world, I don't think they're that good of friends.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I think it might be okay now that Ariana is
married.
Married. And
yeah, that's true.
She should be moved on from it.
I do forget that.
She's married.
I forget that a lot of times. She also, this is so random, but it's because I just brought up Ariana. I just want to say, as The Voice is coming to an end also this season, she was so great as a coach. Like, by far the most famous coach I think that they've had as far as just, like, current popularity. And she was like the sweetest person. She has her team over to her house all the time. They did Thanksgiving together. Like, she's so openly, like, if you ever need anything, like, texting with them all the time. I don't think a lot of Voice contestants have had those kinds of relationships with their coaches. And she, like, felt like she put so much of herself into the show. It's very commendable.
Yeah, and also she broke a lot of rules by doing that, but it didn't matter to her because she just wanted to become close with them.
Exactly. It's really nice. She always just writes, like, the sweetest messages about all of them. It's so nice. It's like, wow, you really, like, you're Ariana Grande and you're, like, really caring about all these people on the show and wanting to help them and, like, be there for them. It's nice.
Sometimes I feel like those are the people who care even more because they feel not just because they feel like they have to show that because they are big of a star, but they're like, wow, I'm so big. The least I can do is like
she cried like every episode towards the end, like the live shows when people started to like have to go home. Like it was, you could tell how much she loved all of them. So that was very nice. I just wanted to throw that in there since I don't know how we got there, but the Voice is coming to an end.
Fran's like the biggest Voice advertiser there is. I know. The Voice.
My Monday nights, I love The Voice. Yeah. But yes, there's been some great people on this season specifically, which we don't need to discuss about. But if anybody wants to talk to me about The Voice, I'm open. My DMs are open. We're getting to the end of the year. I think everybody sets these goals for a new year, 2022. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure I'm taking care of my body, my health. One thing that I think is so important and gives you results, it's like, take the guessing game out of what's going on with you. If you feel like you're having some sensitivities or you can't figure out like why you're bloated or what's happening or like how you're feeling, Everlywell makes these kits that you can test at home. They're an at-home lab test to help you achieve those health and wellness goals. They offer affordable at-home lab tests that give you trusted physician-reviewed results. You choose from tests including food sensitivity, metabolism, sleep and stress, thyroid, and so much more. When we got ours shipped to the office, I asked for the food sensitivity test because sometimes I just feel like, and I live in the dark. It's like you eat the food and then you're like, oh, I don't know if I really feel well, but then sometimes you don't want the answers, you want the answers, or you don't even know how to find out. What doctor do you go to? Who do you have to ask for these things? They make it so easy. They ship your test straight to your door with everything needed for a simple sample collection. You return the test to a CLIA certified lab with a prepaid shipping label, and then your physician reviewed results and insights are sent to your device in just days. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell with their at-home lab testing. I highly recommend it if you're looking into any of these areas of your health that you want some answers. So this holiday, give more of what matters with an Everlywell at-home lab test. For our listeners, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/chicks. That's everlywell.com/chicks for 20% off your at-home lab test. everlywell.com/chicks.
So Kanye West and Drake finally reunited for their big concert, the big benefit concert they were doing together, and it looked insane. The set that they had for this concert, the visuals, everything about it was amazing. And obviously we were not there, but just being able to see videos of it was really just astonishing. Like, it looked incredible. Kanye apparently put on the show of a fucking lifetime. Like, he even played Can't Tell Me Nothing. Like, he played Touch the Sky. Kanye played every hit of
Jesus Walks.
He played Jesus Walks. Kanye played every single hit.
All the lights.
Every hit that you can imagine that you have on your playlist, right? Because I saw all the shit he played. I was like, this is the music I listen to every day. Drake gets out there and plays Certified Lover Boy. What I think happened here, and I don't know, there is no way, unless I saw this theory that Drake played Certified Lover Boy to get his numbers up on Certified Lover Boy even more, because then he would make more money off that, which is a very smart play if that was the case. Kanye could have done that with Donda. Kanye played all of his hits. Drake played all his new stuff. Why do I feel like, and the party was called Certified Donda.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like Kanye told Drake he was going to play Donda, and he was like, you played Certified Lover Boy, and then Kanye went on there and played every single hit that he ever had. Like, Kanye was like, fuck this. Like, I could see Kanye getting up there.
He did God's Plan.
Yeah, but
that's not that old.
I mean, I just realistically,
they did play Forever together, which was
that was
awesome.
I just see. Realistically, though, like, to put on a show like that, Kanye and Drake are both looking at the set list before they go out there. Like, Drake knows what song Kanye is playing.
Right. It's more fun to think about it like this, but like, it's just shocking to think about it that Drake would not play all of his hits after Kanye.
He was like the guest, so it was like Kanye's show, and then Drake would come out for a couple and then leave. It wasn't like...
Right. I guess
now, what about this? What if, because, he put that little, like, come back to me, Kimberly, thing, in the song. What if, in his mind, he was like, I'm going to play, not for the fans, because he doesn't care. He's going to play what music he wants to play. We've seen him do that at his shows. What if he was like, I'm going to play all the hits and remind Kim of my old self, of Kanye, not Ye.
You know what? That's a good theory.
Remember, this. I had all these songs. This is when you fell in love with me.
Yes, because
all the
Kanye
hits.
went through a stage where he was like, "I'm not cursing in any songs anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not playing my old." And then he sang every lyric of all his old shit.
Did he curse at the?
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
I'm pretty sure he sang most of the lyrics of his songs.
I had maybe one of the more mom thoughts I had when I was watching Northwest being there, and she's like she went live on TikTok for a hot sec, and she was singing all the lights. It was very cute. And then I'm watching these clips of Kanye, and I'm like, damn, he's just cursing up a storm up there, and North's just watching it all go down.
Was Kim there?
Yeah. Apparently Kim was there.
I didn't know
Think
that.
about,
and I think Chloe and maybe Chris were also there as well.
Imagine him singing "Runaway" like that if she's there.
She's there. That was kind of heartbreaking. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the thing: if Kim doesn't want to be with Kanye, she doesn't have to be with Kanye. And she's not gonna be with Kanye, and it
feels like the right move.
It does. It does feel like the right move, and it feels like, okay, Kanye will beg for her back, and then it'll be good for a little bit, and then it'll go back to being Kanye.
Right.
Again.
We can't just be look, Kanye's trying. No.
Yeah.
She already.
Right.
It's a little, maybe perhaps a little too late.
You
can't just get her back because you're doing concerts and you're like, come back.
Right. That does not mean that the person.
Remember.
That does not mean the person has to go back. People forget that. Oh my God, look at what he's doing. Well, if she doesn't feel like she's in love with him anymore, then what is she supposed to do? Just go back to Kanye because he's singing this version of Runaway.
Davidson, probably with Miley, just being watching that,
right.
Damn.
She also just filed documents on Friday, which is interesting because she must have filed them, and the show was Thursday night. So this is right after. But she filed legal documents that now she'll be officially single. There's of course so much to the process of getting divorced. The custody and their assets and all those things, I think that all needs to be figured out still, but she wants the label of being a single woman in the eyes of the court. So she filed she filed papers to make her officially single. The TMZ wrote she's essentially asking the judge to separate issues of child custody and property from marital status. She wants that marital status to be single. Kim is also asking that her maiden name be restored, aka drop the West. They wrote Kim's lawyer, Laura Wasser. She is the
lawyer,
celebrity divorce attorney, who has frequently made similar moves with other celebrity clients, separating marital status from other issues. It allows people to go on with their lives, settling other issues for a different day. So.
Yeah, I think that Kim is not going back to Kanye. I think that's very clear here.
Yeah.
Although I'm just happy that Kanye and Drake seem like they're in good spirits together. They seem like they're friends. Maybe they'll collaborate on some music together. Maybe Kanye will go back to putting out some old hits with some curse words in it.
But also, how nice is it that she is still going through this process, but is and I think a lot of it has to do with her kids, and of course North is there, but she's going to all these events, she's being with Kanye, she's seen there's still,
she thanks Kanye at the People's Choice Awards.
Yeah, she is very much still trying to keep their family dynamic, but personally move on with her own life.
Personally, she's single.
Yeah, be personally getting after it, but being able to still go to the shows, and especially with Kanye throwing all this stuff in there.
Can I say that I keep mentioning this, but I mentioned this last episode, that I watched the Pete Davidson and Machine Gun Kelly lie detector test, and Machine Gun Kelly asked Pete Davidson, is it true that when you went to dinner with it was Kanye, Kid Cudi, was it John Mulaney? Am I blanking?
I think John Mulaney,
that you paid? And Pete was like, yeah. Yes. And Machine Gun Kelly was like, this is a personal question. This is not the question written down. He was like, how does Kanye order? And Pete was like, oh, Kanye's one. And with utter disdain in his voice. And this is years ago. It sounded like Pete was like, fuck Kanye. He was like, Kanye's the type of guy that just orders everything on the menu and takes maybe one bite because he's Kanye. And that was the way he said it. And I was like, damn, it seemed like Pete, the way that he said it, it seemed like he had some real disgust for Kanye after that dinner. And I was like,
I'm gonna
depending on how giant that bill was, I would too.
I'm gonna fuck your wife now. That's literally how it seemed. The tone in his voice, and this was back in 2019. Watching this back now was funny because I was like, wow, he really seemed like he was upset with Kanye about that.
I would be too.
He said he ordered everything on the menu.
I get why that's bad, but I get why that's bad.
Yes.
No, it's bad because it's like, but I could see being Kanye and you, but if you're Kanye and you do that, you have to pay for all of it.
No, you're paying for it.
If I'm going to a restaurant, I'm like,
complete waste of
I
food.
want all, it's waste of food, first of all, but I'm like, I want to try all of this. I'm telling everyone at the table, don't worry, it's on me. Like, I'm paying for all of it.
For sure. If you're going to order everything.
Everyone dive in.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Especially if you're the chef and it's like, he didn't even try all
exactly.
Your food.
It's kind of bullshit. But either way, really cool videos that came out of this and just a cool concert in general.
Okay, we're continuing this and just like that conversation. So if you have not watched still, I'm going to slap another spoiler alert if you have not watched and just like that yet. Do not listen to us talk about this. I know we talked about it on Friday, but big old spoiler alerts. Going to do it again. We're talking about these episodes. There's 2 episodes out. Now, we talked about this on Thursday. And the first 2 episodes came out this weekend. I think a lot more people watched it. I saw a lot more people talking about it. And on Friday, the Peloton stock was down 11%.
Plummeted.
Now, I was looking at the graph. Peloton was kind of on a decline anyway, but just as far as one day goes, it was a lot because people are very upset.
And it should be going up around this time because it's Christmas time and people are getting Peloton as gifts. This was a big family dinner discussion in the Chiffo household because my mom was so upset.
So
she was fucking gutted about Mr. Big.
I was so
and then
upset.
My dad is so into the stock market, so he was like talking about Peloton.
Yeah.
And this was just such an interesting conversation to have, but everyone is so upset. Nobody's happy about this, first of all, and certainly not Peloton.
No, I said I would love to be a fly on the wall on Friday in any of the offices or any that Zoom meeting that they're all on, the executives being like, how do we? And look, it'll
we come back.
It'll bounce back. It'll be
another
fine,
show has to get a Peloton in and save somebody's life.
But just a day, and the fact that they also had this doctor who's on the board of I don't know what it is, cardiologist, basically insinuating that Mr. Big lives such an unhealthy lifestyle as it is, cigars, drinking, the whole investment banking life, that potentially the Peloton could have prolonged his life longer than if he just continued with his lifestyle the way it was. It was just, and it's just funny because but they are they're talking about it in the show. I'm watching the episodes and Steve is like, that damn bike, and then they're having this debate. Miranda's like, oh, but it's not the bike. You know how he lived.
And
it's
they're still having a conversation about the fucking bike. Peloton.
This was in the second episode.
The whole second
creators
episode of the show.
I not only was I gutted watching the episode. The second episode is entirely funeral planning and all this stuff. And there's a moment that involves Samantha, and obviously she's not there. She's in London, is what the story is. And Carrie fired her as her publicist, and their friendship was never the same after that. And she's in London, and there's this moment where I no joke clutched my chest. I was like, oh, alone watching this as I was just crying. Oh, it would, and they're all speaking. Mr. Big's brother. It's just, I still could not really believe it.
In the next season of Curb, Larry David has to write an episode about Peloton, but it has to be in Peloton's favor somehow. It's got to be Soul Cycle versus Peloton in some capacity, and Peloton comes out on top because they're both HBO shows, and HBO owes it to Peloton at this point in time, because I bet you the people at Peloton fucking hate these writers, just for whatever, just because now it's just become the premise of the show. It's was it the Peloton?
There's no way that they could sue, right?
I don't think so.
No, you can't sue this for defamation.
It's a fictional show,
but also an inanimate object.
If throughout the whole season they're like, Peloton killed, at some point you have to be
Peloton
all right.
killed Mr. Big. Yeah, it's fucked.
I mean, it's just, it's still absolutely ridiculous that was the way you went. And I was really deep into reading interviews and all this stuff. And Michael Patrick King, he was talking about bringing Chris Noth back in the first place and how he's always kind of had a love-hate relationship with the character and with Mr. Big as just a character, and like playing him being so great, but then also like not being able to play anything else because in everyone's eyes he's always Mr. Big and this whole thing. But of course,
I also see him as Richard.
Yeah, yes, having that, and like having that conversation of who's Richard?
Is that not the two same people? No, it's Tom Selleck.
I was about to say, are you talking about Richard from Friends? Because that's not Chris Noth.
That's Tom Selleck.
Yes. It took me a second. I was like, wait, who's
that also took. I was like, wait a second. No.
And that like it was like, oh well, do you want to come back? And like he dies, and Chris Noth's like, well, no, like I don't want to fucking kill Mr. Big, but this is what happened anyway. And another part of this, which is funny because yes, it is a fictional show, but I was dying at Jonah Hill's Instagram. He just posted a notes picture on his feed that was so funny. It was just him like, but why didn't Carrie call 911 immediately? That's all he wrote. But why didn't Carrie call 911 immediately? I got the same question. And Ireland Baldwin posted a very funny TikTok as well, I think with her friend or boyfriend, whoever that is. And they reenacted the scene. It's like the back and forth, and he's like clutching his heart like on the bathroom floor, and she's like slow-mo being like, like, and like not picking up the phone, not calling anyone. Everyone's like, why the fuck wouldn't she immediately call 911? I know it's a fake show.
I know it's a fake show, but
she just held him and as he died.
It's like in the moment though.
In the moment you call 911.
I would hope that in the moment I would call 911.
No, I would hope so too, but like, are you so shocked that this person's dying that you just like start freaking out and don't know what to do and you just forget to call 911?
No, because I truly think that in the moment of freaking out,
call 911 immediately.
I just think that like, if I'm in that situation, I'm not a doctor. So like in my mind, I'm like, I don't know how to fix
like,
this except call 911.
Right, like let me get someone here immediately.
That's the only way you could do that. So it just felt like, I know they were gonna like. It was a cop out. That was a point. He wasn't gonna have a heart attack and then live. Like the whole point was that the heart attack was gonna kill him. But just having this like sad shower running, he's dying, and it's not like he's dead when she gets home. And she looks at him and he's like already dead. He's still fucking alive when she comes in. It's like call 911.
They really knew how to
got me.
Yeah.
They got my panties in a
when Derek Shepard died, like just that, like you're so mad.
You got your panties in
a bunch.
You got your panties. You got your panties in a joint.
Yeah,
I could tell. I got your panties in a joint. You can't even speak about it.
It is like Derek. Yeah, it was just.
It's just like they could save him, but they're not in the show.
Well, they're not. That was a whole other thing. They were having issues with Derek Shepard, the actor. So that's
that's like he's just getting killed off in general.
Yeah. But yes, there are so many times when, like, off screen they agree, like, oh, this character's gonna die, or like we're gonna have them go out, and it's like, could we do it in a realistic way? And you know, the whole episode, there were so many great moments between Carrie and Big, and then there was like this masturbation scene that was a little weird, and then he dies.
Couldn't you argue that is a realistic way? Like, would you want him to get hit by a car? That's not that realistic.
No, a heart attack, of course, is very realistic. But like they said, Mr. Big has lived an unhealthy lifestyle, like so maybe you never
he's
know.
Just like cooking breakfast and has a heart attack.
Yeah,
like he's not on the.
But I feel
the heart
like
attack
exercising makes sense. I
know the heart attack could have come at any moment, though. Really, if he lived this so-called unhealthy lifestyle that they're talking about that killed him, you know, it's like he could have been doing anything for the heart attack to come in. But yeah, this all in all, also just the show in itself. I know there's only 2 episodes. But like there's some moments that I'm like, this is great, and then some moments where I'm like, oh boy, it just kind of like feels like they're trying too hard. Some of the new characters, Miranda trying to like keep up with like Miranda feels like she's not acting like Miranda. I don't know.
It's been a long time.
There's a lot of I know. It's just a lot of like, and I guess it makes sense because it's a different time, so the show is of course going to be different. But it just feels like they tried a little bit too hard to be like 2021 Sex in the City, like.
Yeah. So a lot of shows do that now.
I know.
They try too hard to be like, we're in the present moment. Oh my God. Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm on my iPhone. Like, it's like, all right, we get it.
But I like
I'm
when
still
shows
watch
don't even. Once again, as I continue to complain, but I'll still watch it, see what happens. But
I like when shows don't even address what year it is. It's like, we just know.
We just
know that we're in this present year and that's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Succession is good at that, right? Like they all have the updated phones, and once in a while, like Greg mentioned Twitter like once. Right. And it's like, okay, we know where we are.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with that, because there's also the argument of like, when you watch TV, like, do you want there to be a pandemic? Do you not want there to be a pandemic? Some shows do it. Some shows don't do it. They do it in Sex and the City. They're talking about Post. It's like they made a couple references. So I'm going to continue watching, but it really did feel like all weekend long the world was watching and being like, 1, that is unfortunate for Peloton. 2, why the fuck didn't she call 911 immediately?
As you guys know, I've been bleaching my hair again. You know, I'm taking that step back to blonde. It was always calling me back. It was
always blonde.
It was always blonde. It was never jet black with 2 white stripes in the front. So I'm on my way back. And obviously I need to treat my hair differently now, take extra care of it, make sure that the texture's feeling good, make sure it's smoother, softer, longer, and it's doing all of those things. And right now you can try out Pros, which is what I've been using. It's the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it, custom to you. So if you go to pros.com, you can take the quiz and find out what you need for your hair. What's going to make your hair shine? What's going to make it feel great? What's going to make it feel healthy, which is what is important to me, obviously, especially if you have color treated hair. I know that I am very particular about what I use in my hair to make sure that it's getting the best of the best, and you could do that with Pros. So right now, like I said, Pros is the healthy hair regimen for you, custom to you. So you could take the free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today. Go to pros.com/chicks. That's PROSE.com/chicks for your free in-depth hair consultation and 15% off. If you guys care about your hair like I do, you want to check this out. So go to pros.com/chicks for your free in-depth hair consultation and 15% off.
Tom Holland and Zendaya continue. I know, big week. Spider-Man No Way Home, Far From Home, already out. No Way Home is coming out this week. So the press tour continues. They've done so much press, so many interviews. I've watched like every second of all of them because I'm just really obsessed with everything that they do. And I'm so excited for this movie. And they did this town hall on Sirius. And the woman, Jessica Shaw, brought up height because that has been like a conversation with the two of them. And she brings it up. Tom kind of jumps in being like, why are you always talking about, I'm not that much shorter than her, like whatever. And she's like, no, I actually want to talk about the difference, like how that's always so focused on and it shouldn't be. And we're going to play the whole clip because honestly, when a conversation like this, I feel like sometimes when we just discuss it, we lose like part of what they were actually saying. So we're going to play it. And then.
So I feel like the interviewer here really tried to save her words. Like at first when she said it, they were both like taken aback, but she was like, no, let me explain myself. Right. And I think she did mean what she was trying to get across, obviously, or else I don't think.
I think they're just more hyper aware about it, so they jumped right in.
Yes.
And it just wasn't where she was going.
And then I think she over explained herself. Like she just kept going and going, which obviously you're talking to Zendaya and Tom Holland, you get nervous. But this is a funny conversation because I feel like it's such a common conversation that happens because it is talked about that it's like, oh, the woman is taller than the man. Like Sophie Turner is taller than Joe Jonas. And like when they were getting married, it was always talked about that she was taller. And it's weird that it's even a topic, but it is. Like,
I know. I was going to say, weird, there are a lot of women out there who will not date men that are shorter than them.
And I respect that decision for them.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, if they want to do that. But it's weird when you think about it, right? Because you're like, because guys will date girls shorter than them. Most do.
Exactly. If you like everything about a guy, everything, personality, looks, how you guys get along, everything. And the only thing that is like, I don't think I could ever date him because he's shorter than me is a little fucked up.
It is fucked up. And it is fucked up. Because people always be like, oh, I'm not talking to him if he's under 6 feet. I think that's fucked up because that's not even short. Like, I know. To be able to say
everyone does always joke like, he's not cute, he's just tall, which does come into play.
Being tall helps.
I don't know. It is, and it is like it's an interesting conversation, and I like what you said about it, because it is like actually making you think about the history of it, and you're like, yeah, wow, like that kind of is an inherently misogynistic thing that we still to this day do and talk about. And I think it's funny for them, like Tom and Zendaya, because they have been making jokes. Like they on the Graham Norton show, they were joking about how when they were doing stunts together, because she's taller, she would like hit her mark before him. So like they're flying in the air, her legs would hit first because she's taller, and they're laughing. It's like, Spider-Man, he can't have her landing before him, before he does. She can't be doing that. So they've been joking about it, but I feel like in this conversation, it's less, Spider-Man-y, and sometimes because it's hard with them talking about it because they date in real life. So it's like, when are they talking about real life dating, and when do they talk about Spider-Man, MJ, and that dynamic?
Because that one's more funny to talk about the filming aspect of it. Yeah. But then when you bring it into real life, it's like it's kind of fucked up for everyone to be making fun of Zendaya, first of all, for being taller than Tom Holland, and Tom Holland for being shorter than Zendaya. Right. It goes both ends.
Yep.
Because it's like, it makes the woman feel weird and bad that she's tall and she shouldn't feel that way. Yep. And then it makes the guy feel bad that he's like a little shorter. So it's fucked up on all ends, but it is just something that happens.
And I feel like he does joke about it a lot more, because he's like, look, John Watts, we didn't audition anyone that was shorter than me. I don't know if that was a deliberate move. He's like, but yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty short. Like, that's something that I had to deal with. And for Zendaya, it's interesting because she's like, I mean, my mom's really tall. Like, she's taller than my dad. It's just been part of my life always. And now that I'm in the spotlight, it's like talked about so much more.
It is weird that her mom is taller than her dad and she's taller than Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Like that part of
makes sense.
It does make sense, but it's kind of just like ironic. Right? It's like, whoa, how did that happen?
If that's the example of like a loving relationship that she has, and it's like, you never even think that there's something quote unquote different about that. Like, it's like, no, that's just like,
that's how she was raised.
What she's used to. So yeah, no, they are able to joke about it, but the fact that it is like Jacob, their co-star at the end, when he was like, I really thought you were just like gonna make fun of them for their heights. It's like insane that it feels like something that they've had to continue to talk about on this press tour, like a lot.
Right. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Just a reminder, we do have a big interview coming up, and it is this Friday it will be out. Yep. Because people keep seeing our interviews being like, is this it? Is this it? Yeah. And I'm like, no, you'll know.
No, you'll know.
You'll know who it is. But it is coming this Friday, so get excited. That is when you guys will know about the big guest. You'll know Thursday night because we'll put out a little promo, get you excited for Friday. And that wraps up today's episode. We will talk to you on Wednesday for Fantasy Suites.